Straight first to our top story, AIADMK chief Jayalalitha has expelled a senior party leader for having overstepped his mandate and for having revealed more than what was necessary at this stage. But headlines today's T.S. Sudhir, in fact, is getting us the inside track of what the seasoned politician's ultimate game plan could be, as she's sending out a tough message with this sacking. While Malaisamy had yesterday claimed that Jayalalitha and Narendra Modi were good friends and that she'd like to keep close ties with Modi if he were to become the Prime Minister. Now, this statement had sparked massive speculation of a possible alliance with the NDA. His expulsion today is a clear warning to those who have been spreading the notion that she's now ready to do business with the BJP. She wants to send out a clear message that NDA is not her first option, and that if the NDA fails to cross the 250 mark, she could position herself to head a third front Congress alliance. So clearly the contours of a third front are also taking shape. At the same time, the third front will be active if NDA fails to cobble up 250 seats, and it will include parties like the AIADMK of Jayalalitha along with Trinamool Congress, YSR Congress, BJD and JDS, and could possibly include other regional players as well. Well, our editor for the South, T.S. Sudhir, is now joining us live. Sudhir, just put this into perspective. What's the big message that Jayalalitha is sending out here, considering that Jaya is known to be very strict with those who speak on party affairs out of turn without authorization?
Absolutely. In fact, for those familiar with the way the AIADMK functions, you cannot really speak out of turn, and especially without an authorization letter from Poise Garden, which is Jayalalitha's residence. So in that sense, Malaisamy, who's a former MP of the party, a former Home Secretary in the Tamil Nadu government, has spoken out of turn. Jayalalitha pretty miffed with the fact that he spoke as though Jayalalitha was willing to do business with Narendra Modi should the NDA fall tantalizingly short of numbers in the Lok Sabha. Jayalalitha and many parties in the country, like her, like the TRS, like the YSR Congress, like Mamata Banerjee's TMC, believe that there is still an outside chance for a third front government with Congress providing outside support, and they are really not willing to give it up unless the NDA actually crosses the 272 mark on its own. So in that sense, they do believe that if a block of 150 to 160 MPs is provided by this third front, and with Congress providing outside support, Jayalalitha could actually still become the Prime Minister of the country if her party wins 30 plus seats. So in that sense, Malaisamy speaking out of turn, speaking as though she was willing to provide support to NDA, was obviously not really in line with what Jayalalitha and the AIADMK thinks. And obviously this kind of a very stern action, expelling the former MP from the party, is essentially sending a message to all the people within the party that nobody can really speak on behalf of Jayalalitha.
Right, Sudhir, but interestingly, when Jayalalitha was asked pointed questions by reporters yesterday in Chennai about the possibility of joining a Modi-led NDA alliance, she did not categorically rule that out either.
Yes, I mean, she said that everything will have to wait till the results come out on the 16th of May. But yes, given the fact that the entire pitch of the AIADMK campaign from December, when the General Council proposed that there should be an attempt to move from Fort St. George in Chennai to Red Fort in New Delhi. If you see the entire AIADMK campaign, it has been with the background of Parliament. So in a sense, they wanted to pitchfork Amma as the Prime Minister of the country. So in that sense, Jayalalitha and her party definitely have not given up that dream of possibly seeing a Tamilian as the first Prime Minister of Tamilian as the Prime Minister of this country. And Jayalalitha would really hope that if the NDA falls short of numbers, the third front still has a very, very outside chance.
T.S. Sudhir, thank you very much for joining us and putting things into perspective. So significant developments there taking place in Tamil Nadu. Jayalalitha expelling one of the former MPs after he made that statement yesterday, suggesting that she could be open to alliance with Narendra Modi-led NDA.